Welcome to the Beyond Barriers podcast. If you're an ambitious woman who wants to dominate your career, then you are in the right place. This podcast is co-hosted by Nikki Barua, digital innovator, serial entrepreneur, author, and speaker, and Monica Marquez, ex-Googler, diversity expert, and senior corporate leader. From inspiring stories to cutting-edge strategies, you'll learn how to develop the skill set, mindset, and tool set to get future-ready fast and accelerate your success. Welcome to the Beyond Barriers Habits and Hacks Show. Have you ever been in a situation where you needed help but didn't feel comfortable asking for it? Well, you're not alone. This is an area where a lot of women struggle. Even though we may be comfortable asking for help on personal matters, we often don't like to ask for help when it comes to our career goals. In today's episode, we'll share how to get comfortable asking and getting the help you deserve. Nikki, let's start with you. Are you comfortable asking for help?
Actually, this is a huge issue for me, at least when it comes to asking for help on personal matters. And I've been actively working on it. So I'm getting better at asking my friends for help. But the asking for help on business and career, that's not a problem for me. I guess, as an entrepreneur, you just learn how to ask for help because there's just no way for you to grow your business or achieve your goals if you don't have a whole village of people helping you out. So whether it's your investors, your advisors, your clients, or your team, you need them all, and you have to make it a collective effort. And so over the years as an entrepreneur, I've certainly learned how to ask for help. And what I've discovered is that whenever I did ask for help, I achieved my goals faster. And frankly, I just did things so much better. And it's incredible how once you get past that hump of being uncomfortable asking, it's like a whole new world where everything is so much easier and so much better. But that said, I know this is not very common. In fact, there's a lot of research about women struggling to ask for help, partly because women sometimes don't help each other professionally. We sort of scorn ambition. And so as much as we're comfortable asking or helping each other out when it comes to, let's say, home or family or relationships or kids, when it comes to something like supporting and promoting career ambitions and saying, hey, let me help you grow your business, or let me promote you on LinkedIn or something of that sort, that's very uncommon. And it sort of creates this feeling of, I don't even want to ask my friends for help because I might be rejected by them. But all I would say about that is remember what Madeleine Albright said. There is a special place in hell for women who don't help other women.
Right.
So find the friends or find the people that'll help you and go ask them. Ignore the ones that you don't think you can get help from or that have rejected you. Just find the people that will and enroll them instead. But that's, sort of the hard-earned lessons as an entrepreneur of just learning to get over the discomfort of asking for help and just doing that. But what are some of the patterns that you've observed when it comes to asking for help, especially within the corporate environment from your vantage point as an HR leader?
Well, in my experience, I was fascinated to see how differently men and women actually approach something as simple as asking for help. I mean, for men, they had no qualms or issues or whatever to just go out there and ask for help. Like if they have a project or something, they're immediately thinking about who can help me, right? And I remember really young, starting off in corporate, working on projects. And there was this one particular project where we were wanting to do this big thing and partner with a lot of organizations. And I remember our team lead asking us, going around the table, well, who do you know? Who do you know that could help us out? And I remember like almost doing the disclaimer of like, well, I know a couple of people, but they're acquaintances. Kind of like, I don't know if I can go out and ask them. And then they move on to the next guy next to me, and he's like, oh yeah, I have a buddy. Well, wouldn't call him a buddy. I played a basketball game with him a couple of months ago, but I know he plays an integral part at this organization. I'll just reach out to him. And I remember being like flabbergasted of like, wait a minute, these acquaintances, I actually had coffee or had lunch with these people. I know who they are, but I consider them acquaintances. And he was talking about some guy he played basketball with 4 months ago. And he was like, yeah, I'll just call him and ask him. No big deal. So I think that's where women overthink these things, and we feel like we have to nurture relationships, or we have to, we can't just go out there and ask for help.
We have to wait a certain amount of time. Like, you can't just meet someone and ask for help. You got to nurture the relationship for months or years.
Exactly.
And then by then you're just awkward even asking, because you don't want to make the relationship feel transactional by asking for something.
Exactly.
Yeah. It really, so much of this comes down to two feelings or emotions. It's shame and fear of rejection.
Yes.
Our concern is that if we had to ask for help, it must mean that we're not good enough, that somehow we're inadequate and we couldn't figure it out ourselves, or we're not strong enough to cope with our struggles.
Right.
And so the sense of shame that asking for help makes us feel. And then secondly, if we did ask for help, what happens if people reject us? What do they think about us? So that fear of rejection, that gets in the way. So shame and fear are really debilitating emotions that prevent us from getting the help that we need. And it really impacts, people's success.
I mean, well, yes. I mean, of course, it's a compounding effect, right? I mean, first off, you're going to struggle when you don't ask for help. You're basically putting all the burden on your shoulders. And if you're not asking for help and gaining leverage from people who can help you or know how to do it faster or better, you're just going to struggle, and it just makes it that much harder. And then the struggle is going to cause you to burn out. And if you're burning the candle at both ends and you're not really asking for somebody to help, at some point you're going to run out of candle. So you need to make sure that there's somebody there that can help you, maybe just, take some of that burden off of you. And then, of course, when you start feeling burned out and you're struggling, there's a loss of confidence that you start thinking, do I have it in me? Can I do this?
Meanwhile, you also see other people racing ahead.
Exactly. Well, exactly that. You see people doing it or it
seems effortless.
Exactly. It's effortless. They have some sort of secret sauce, or they know some magic trick that you don't know. And then you start feeling inadequate. So it's just compounding.
Yeah, that's so true, because when you don't ask for help, you're taking the slower path to success, bottom line. When you watch other people thrive and race ahead, you assume it's because you must be missing something or that they're just better. But maybe the truth is you've got exactly what they have, but you didn't ask for help. And it's you against the world when it could have been you with the world. It's like we make things harder for ourselves, and we cocoon ourselves from getting the support and the opportunities and resources that are so freely available out there if only we were to ask.
Right.
In fact, here's a story that perfectly illustrates the power of asking for help. And this happened just a week ago. So my dear friend, Elizabeth Shaw, posted on LinkedIn about her struggle with months of unemployment, sheltering in place with 2 toddlers, and feeling really exhausted from all the bad news all around. She was completely vulnerable in this post. And at the end, she asked for help. She asked to be hired. Well, that post went totally viral with hundreds of thousands of people engaging, supporting, reaching out. And as a result, she landed real opportunities within days of this happening.
That's amazing.
Right? Now, obviously, she got those opportunities because she is very talented and incredibly gifted person. But by putting herself out there, by asking for help, she put herself on the radar, and that allowed her to attract what she wanted a lot faster and a lot easier. And, we just have to remember that people actually want to help.
Yeah.
People love to help. They just don't know what we need or if we even need help to begin with, right? So enroll people in your cause, ask for help, be specific, and most of all, be vulnerable. Instead of fighting your battle alone, make it everyone's war to win.
Yes. Okay, everyone. So here's how to ask for help. Okay. First of all, think about and identify what you need. And what I mean by that is get specific. Like, don't just go out there and say, hey, I need a job, or hey, I want to get on a board. Be prepared to, when somebody says, oh, okay, how can I help you? Know exactly what it is that you need. So have a list of like, okay, there are going to be people who maybe can't give you the job, but maybe they can give you insights on the industry or insights. Maybe they have the job you want and they can tell you, this is what it's like a day in the life of doing X, Y, and Z. And these are the things that you should brush up on. These are the things that skill sets or competencies you need to work on. So make sure that you're being specific as to what is it that you exactly need help with. Maybe they can refer you to the internal recruiter or to the hiring manager, or they can just give you tips on that.
Yeah, this is an area that I think probably stumps people more than even the asking part.
Yes.
It's just not knowing what to ask for and not thinking through that, because that's not something you can put on someone else. That's your job to figure out what you need help with. So an example would be, just saying like, oh, I'd love to be serving on a board. Well, that's a really broad statement. If someone said, sure, I can help you. Do you know which board?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want it to be a nonprofit or a for-profit? Do you want it to be a public or a private board?
What are your interests?
Do you want to be compensated for it, or you want to do it pro bono? I mean, there's so many questions about that. But if you're not specific and you can't name one board that you would absolutely want to serve on, that's a total missed opportunity. The moment someone says, yes, I can help you, and you don't have a specific thing. And the same goes for, even in your job search. If someone said, yes, I can help you, but you don't know exactly what kind of role, what location, what comp band, or, what your dream role is, and you're simply just looking for a paycheck, well, that's not going to help.
Exactly. So you do have to be specific and have your list of all of the things that, the questions or the insights or, what it is that you want. So as soon as somebody reaches out to you, you can look at them, look at their profile, and then two, understand who can help you, right? And being able to say, okay, if somebody does reach out to you and say, hey, I'm happy to help you. How can I help you? You have a laundry list of things that you can say, okay, let me match this person up and see what it is that they can actually help me with. And then finally, at the end, the thing that you need to do is do the research, go to your networks, find all these people who can help you, attach, Nikki to this line, Monica to that line, and then you just reach out and you ask. It is that simple. You simply have to be straightforward and say, hey, I'm struggling with this, or I'm looking to achieve this. You have this, you have the background, you have this connection, you have something. Can you please just help me? And if you're specific and you ask for the help, absolutely, you will get the yes.
Exactly. So that's, these three things of being very specific on what do you need help with. Number two, who can be of help on all those things that you listed out that you could use help with. And number three, just ask. And if you're uncomfortable asking for the help, ask for advice. Because most people, if they can't help you directly or for whatever reason are unwilling to, give you help on what you need, everyone's willing to give you advice. And, every piece of advice, every piece of feedback is always helpful, and it'll move the ball forward for you.
So take action today. Follow these 3 steps and reach out to someone and ask for help. And be sure to share with us how this made you feel and tag us so we can share your story. Visit iambeyondbarriers.com where you'll find show notes and links to all of the resources in this episode. Thanks for listening. There are thousands of podcasts out there, and we are so grateful that you've chosen to listen to ours. Visit iambeyondbarriers.com where you'll find show notes and links to all the resources referenced in this episode. And be sure to take the quiz on the website. Your score will tell you where you are, what helps you gain momentum, and what holds you back. You'll also get a free guide with cutting-edge career strategies. We'd also love to hear from you. Share your comments and topic suggestions on iambeyondbarriers.com, and we'll be sure to address them in future episodes. If you enjoyed our show today, please subscribe and rate the podcast, or just tell a friend about it. See you next episode.